Cool.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to another fantastic episode of The Chop with myself, Michael Harding, co-founder of Blockchain Sensei, our lead researcher, none other than Mr. NASA and International Space Station himself, Mr. Ashley Pierre. And today we have a very special guest on The Chop. As you know, The Chop is a series whereby we take deep dives into projects. We have none other than RiRi here to tell us all about the project that she's involved in. But before we do anything and say anything, so that none of us get in any trouble, let's say a quick disclaimer. So a disclaimer is available on the Blockchain Sensei website. Disclaimer: terms and conditions, all content is for education, information, and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice or recommendation to buy, sell, hold any assets, or place any trades. Please do your own research. Our content is intended and should only be used for informational use. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment, which could be based on your own individual circumstances. You should always take independent professional advice from a professional advisor or independently research and verify all and any information you may find on our show that you wish to rely upon, whether you wish to make an investment decision or otherwise. As all investments come with risk, please do your own research. We are not financial advisors. We do not intend to be perceived or received as financial advisors. However, we are working in collaboration with several accredited advisors. If you're unable to mitigate your risk, then please contact us immediately so we can refer you to an accredited financial advisor. Okay, that's that stuff out of the way. Let's get into the fun parts. Okay, RiRi, tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is you're working on.
Okay, so my name is RiRi. I'm the Chief Operations Officer for a project called Penguin Karts, but I got into blockchain in December 2017. A friend of mine had just started a small marketing company. I had just gone freelance as a writer, and he calls me up. He's like, "Oh, I need a writer. I need a writer." I was like, "Oh, what do you got?" He goes, "I have a new client." Like, "Who is it?" KuCoin. I'm like, "Who's that?" And they turned out to be pretty big.
Yeah.
So I worked on like 100 different projects working with them. And that's how I learned how to do crypto and learned all about it. And
Wow.
been freelance again for the last year and a half. Got picked up by Penguin Karts by the founder, who was also one of the co-founders for that marketing agency back then. So we have a long history working together. And we're just super excited to start this play to earn thing and push it to the next level.
Oh, wow. Amazing. What an amazing story. So for most people that don't realize, KuCoin is one of the biggest exchanges out there, especially for your serious altcoins. Altcoins being coins outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, most of the actual gems are hidden on KuCoin. So an amazing start there.
Check this out. I actually am the one that wrote the original algorithm for the gem finder for their automated system now. I pulled all the information out of the founders' heads. There's 5 of them. And I was a kindergarten teacher before. And I took all their information to see how they judged a coin, broke it into 5 different categories, and then 45 different criteria, broke it all into it. We did a weighted metric system, and I put it all in Excel. And it grew from there to like 9 categories, like over 100 criteria. But I did the original algorithm with my buddy there.
That is amazing. So you are literally the gem master.
And now we're doing Penguin Karts with all that knowledge.
Wow. Okay, so obviously I can't let you say that and then not ask you this question. What would you say are 3 or some of the top fundamentals that make up what is looked for in a good gem?
Okay, so check the website first and foremost. Make sure it has all the information. Go to the white paper. No white paper, fail.
Yeah.
Go to the white paper, check the white paper. Then make sure that project, whatever it is, needs a token and that it's not just a fundraise for a bit. Like, it should have a use case. It should need a token. It should not just be a fundraise for a party. And check out the team. is the team doxed? What's their experience? How transparent are they? What else have they worked on? What are they doing? Because the team has control of everything. And check the tokenomics. If you don't know how to read tokenomics, find someone that understands math and sit with them.
Oh, wow. That's so interesting that you said those three, because that's literally the policy that we have at Blockchain Sensei when we teach people. And we're like, look, if you we're massive fans of Gary Vee, and Gary Vee is always drumming it that you need to just judge a company by its team. It could be the best project in the world, but if the team's rubbish, it's going to go down the pan. So you need to always check the team and check what things they're associated with and the things they've been associated with in the past. Because kind of like your background, sometimes leopards, or is that a jaguar, don't change their spots. So yeah, is that a leopard or a jaguar?
You know what? The guy at the Global Penguin Society called it a snow leopard, so I'm going with that.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, tell us a little bit about. We've understood a little bit about your kind of journey. Tell us a little bit about the project that you're working on at the moment.
Okay, so Penguin Karts comes from the two founders who they were both at the marketing company before. Then the pandemic hit and everything went to shit. And they're two introverts who continued going to work at the office together the entire time. And last year, they decided they wanted penguin NFTs for this game that they had an idea for. And they went looking for the penguin NFTs. And they're like, oh, we're not happy with these. We need an artist. So they decided to make the 2D NFT collection. And they're making this video game. And they are really focused on the video game and the video game experience, because most blockchain games are use cases for what is possible. They're not really intended for players to go play. So they're really focusing on fun, fast gameplay, easy to play, difficult to master, free to play, play to earn, kick the guilds out. We don't need guilds like recreating slavery in the digital world. We got or they have to reconstruct what they're doing, like provide data aggregation, provide player stats, things like that, stay relevant, because we don't want to just own all the NFTs and then rent them out. So everybody can play our game for free. We'll give you a free in-game item instead of an NFT to race. You can even earn doing that, so that we can get the new people into the crypto.
Wow, nice. I'm just going to quickly share my screen so that the people can see. So this is KuCoin, for those of you that don't know. So again, like I said, one of the best exchanges out there. And then the project that you're currently working on, if someone was to look for it, how would they find it?
So they go to penguinkarts.com. They can go to Twitter and type in Penguin Karts. Lots of ways to find us. Probably just Karts, Karts. So like we're go-kart. Mad Penguins, Karts. There we go. That's us.
This is website supported by MetaMask. There we go.
Yes, we're on the Phantom chain. MetaMask works well with it across all devices.
Battle, collect, and earn. Oh, nice. So it's it's the driving.
They say battle racing.
So
it's go-karts. Okay. And so you can go in with your friends or by yourself, and you enter the lobby, and then you join a race, and the race is between 4 and 8 people, and the top 3 people in the race win prize money, and the rest do not. So it's a skills-based game, free to play, play to earn. And then we do recognize that some people will want to be able to earn more. So we will have different lobbies where you can go in and you can pay, and then the stakes are higher, that type of thing. And then, of course, special events, tournaments, and then esports and wagering coming fourth quarter.
Oh, wow. Amazing. One thing I do have to say, the other thing that we always look for is the amount and the quality of the VCs backing a project, because what most people don't realize is that a project's not really going to shoot up if it hasn't got any VC investors. So I can see here there is a ton of VC investors, including Black Edge Capital, who I'm aware of, and TrustPad, and Phantom Starter and CDFI. Wow, some real big players back in this project, and some amazing partnerships as well. So yeah, this is
and that needs to be updated so much. We've got about 30 open partnership deals right now. There's 15 that have been confirmed whose logos are missing. We're so far behind. I had COVID for 3 weeks, so we're behind on a lot of our stuff. I kept opening conversations and not finishing them.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Jerome, I'll let you start with your questions.
Okay, so thank you for the little introduction. That was very very insightful. So building on from that now, I've got 12 questions that we're going to ask RiRi to get more of a deep dive into Penguin Karts. So it's going to share my screen. I think I have to be made the host again.
Oh, okay. Hang on a minute. Let me make you the host again. The rules of Zoom. There we go.
Okay.
Pass the baton.
Right, so let's go. So welcome RiRi. He's the COO of Penguin Karts, Chief Operating Officer. And so you've already done an introduction of yourself. If you can just tell us again how you became involved in the project and what are your interests within blockchain and out of blockchain. So what are your interests?
So I got involved with the project because I've worked with the CEO before, and he was to the point where he needed to start building his team. And so he called me first, like, I need to build a team. You do that. Okay. So I came and we started building the team. And as far as interests, well, I'm a lifelong gamer, obviously. Played Atari for the first time when I was like 5 years old in 1983. And very passionate about blockchain. I'm very passionate about writing as well, and education, and also dance and cooking, if you want some well-rounded stuff.
Cool. Very interesting. Okay. So we're just going to take a little look at some stats. So it's estimated that by 2025, the global gaming industry will be worth $268 billion. So last year's value, it's quite big, right? So last year's value was $178 billion. These are just estimates, and every website will say a different figure. And in 2020, the global gaming audience spent approximately $54 billion on additional in-game content. So imagine, I've got a figure for the 2020 global gaming. So that was 160 billion. So imagine in 2020, around 1/3 of all of the money spent on gaming globally was spent on additional in-game content. So the actual over 2/3 of that is actually buying the game itself. So a lot of PlayStation and Xbox games are quite expensive, might be 50, 60 pounds for a game. And then I guess there is other additional things as well. But it seems like 1/3 of this market comes from additional in-game content.
So I think that is... I'd want to throw in, just for context, sorry to cut you there, Jerome. Just for context, the music industry, the total music industry's revenue is just over 22 billion. So the context...
Isn't it crazy how much gaming has surpassed? The entire movie industry is a fraction of this as well. I was blown away.
Crazy.
Yes, gaming is entertainment of the future. It's now though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, carry on, Jerome.
Exactly. So going on to the origins, obviously there's an amazing opportunity there for blockchain and P2E to come in and to revolutionize gaming the way we see it doing already. Many would argue the first P2E game was CryptoKitties in 2017. I would say many would argue that, and many would say the most popular is Axie Infinity, right? So today we are looking at the dawn of Penguin Karts, right?
We sure are, and we learned from all those projects.
Exactly. It's like, what's the saying? Was it Warren Buffett that said you stand on the shoulder of giants? And then you carry on.
For sure.
So before we get into the 12 questions, I want to just go around and ask everybody, what were your all-time 2 favorite gaming experiences and why? So I'll go first. Mine were Call of Duty and RuneScape. So Call of Duty World at War and Modern Warfare 2 when I was at school, just because of the social aspect. We would be at school, we'd all talk at school, we'd say, okay, jump on COD tonight. We'd jump on COD 5 hours every evening, headphones on. So imagine Call of Duty was like our own metaverse, because we would go in there, have our avatars, even though we'd be shooting at each other, we would still have our headphones on and we'd still be talking and interacting, trash talking, all of that. And the next morning at school, we would all discuss, you know, what happened last night. So I'd say Call of Duty for that reason. And RuneScape was a bit before Call of Duty. The same reason, it was like our own mini metaverse again. And when I was in year 7, I actually made some good friends through RuneScape. I'm sure you both know what RuneScape is and the audience know what RuneScape is. So
if not, look it up.
Exactly. So that's my 2. So RiRi, what were your 2 all-time?
Okay, so Halo,
Okay.
which is Xbox, and City of Heroes, which is a PC game. So I'll start with Halo because it was sooner, and it was the co-op play. The co-op play, because I suck at video games, guys. I suck at the racing games. I suck at the shooting games. The only one I was really good at was like the fighting games, because I got good at combos because I smash stuff so fast. But like anything that required skill, I really sucked at. So I needed a teammate. And Halo allowed me to get through a storyline all the way through with a committed friend. So that really like reignited my love for video games. And then take that to the next step when I got my first computer in 2004, and I get this video game called City of Heroes. And it's an MMORPG, and I remember it take like 14 hours to download the game and all the patches just to find out my video card wouldn't support it. So now we're on mission status. Now I have to buy a video card and I have to teach myself how to install it. So I do all this just to get into this game, which becomes later an obsession. Mistress Vegas, which is my handle everywhere, was created in City of Heroes. And I made friends back then because I got really involved in our super group. Like there was one guy that made the super group. He's like, hey, I made a group. You want to join? I was like, yeah. And there was 2 of us in it. I was like, oh, this sucks. Hey, you want to join? Hey, you want to join? I was just asking everybody, right? And then I ended up building a forum, like on a PHP website, like off ways so that we could keep communicating. We did TeamSpeak. We did all the things. And I'm still friends with a bunch of those guys today. And that was 2004, and now it's 2022.
Wow.
And one of them was a top guy at Microsoft. Like Microsoft sent them to the video game to learn how to work on teams.
Wow.
Yeah, like video games shape the world. If Microsoft employees are getting paid to go play these video games, they are shaping our world.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd say mine was my real obsession with gaming started with cutscenes. Just that feeling of when you get to a certain level or you do something and you accomplish something and it goes to a cutscene and you're like, oh yeah, it's like you achieved this scene. Like it's just such, and that's just like
you earned it.
All games. Yeah, I've earned being able to sit and watch this scene, whether it's in a fighting game, a football game, when you're getting your trophy handed to you, whatever it is. I think one of my ultimate cutscenes that just did it for me was playing Metal Gear Solid, and just the complexities of some of the tasks you had to do, like having to switch the controller from the player 1 port to the player 2 port to be able to defeat Psycho Mantis, to be able to having to go from a cold area to a hot area to change the key card, and then that unlocking a cutscene. I was like, whoa. And then ultimately, I'm very similar to yourself. It was the co-op play on Gears of War 2. So I remember first got that Gears of War 1 and Gears of War 2. Just me and my godbrother, we got the game and we just literally did a 48-hour straight, just binge, just went straight through the whole game, and it was just such a great immersive experience, because that was like one of the first times there was like haptic feedback on triggers as well. So it was just like seeing him almost die and then having to drag his body and recover him and get into cover, and like him being right next to me and doing that was just such a just an incredible experience. And yeah, that's probably my two.
Okay, thank you for that. Very insightful. Okay. Okay, so RiRi, can you explain? In fact, I'm gonna make it very, very interview-like, so I'm gonna actually use this microphone. Okay, so RiRi, can you explain in 30 seconds to the audience what Penguin Karts is?
Of course. It's mad penguins racing for crypto gains. And there's going to be like 20 different tracks in total that they can race on. I've seen already 5 of them, and we're going to create more. And then there's also a demolition type derby that will come out later on, where it's a winner take all, and you just crash into everything. I love this because, again, no skill.
Amazing. Okay. So as a precursor to the second question, I'm just going to open up this link as I want to show something. So this is a really good website called play2earn.net. I don't know if you have heard of it before.
I have.
So it essentially shows all of the play to earn games. And so I was having a look at this and I searched racing P2A games, and I've gone down the list. As you can see, Penguin Karts is there. And it tells you if a game is in development, if it's in alpha, if it's in beta, or if it's live, right? So I've gone down and I've just, there's quite a few different ones. I'm not being biased. I've not seen all of them, but Penguin Karts, like, yeah, I do believe it is the best one. That's not me being biased or no disrespect to other projects, but yeah, it's a very interesting list. Now I show that to ask this next question. And the question is, what will differentiate PK Penguin Karts from current and future P2E racing games?
A couple of things. The attention to detail by the game creators is insane. Like the art they're getting into for the immersive experience is really great, and I think it's gonna lead and set the bar for the blockchain games as far as graphics and stuff. No, it's not gonna be like the stuff coming out on the latest consoles. It's not, but it's also not that type of game. I mean, this is a retro style game brought into now. The other thing that kind of makes us unique and sets us apart is we're going to have 2 models of the game, a Web 2 and a Web 3 version. The Web 2 version, anybody will be able to play. We'll be able to put it in the major app stores, and we're going to show people what they would have won if they were playing Web 3, and then give them educational content on how to connect to Web 3. And we want to become an onboarding station to help the next billion crypto users access crypto easily. So we really put a lot of work into figuring out how we can onboard players for free, as painless as possible and as seamless as possible. So we hope to have a really huge player base, and then we're partnering with all types of games, because not everybody's going to play the racing game. Everybody's going to play it, but they're not going to play that all the time. Races are 1 to 3 minutes, and you got to have the whole library. So we're going to be also a central hub of friends.
Yeah, I really like what you were saying about the Web 2 to Web 3 onboarding. I've heard Baz speak about it before as well. I think that is really unique. And I don't think I've seen that before. So yeah, thank you for the answer. Okay, as a precursor to the third question, I'm just going to show another link. Okay, so I'm on an article called "Like It or Not, Blockchain and P2E Will Disrupt the Traditional Gaming Space" on forecast.news. So I'm just going to read out this. So the Asia Pacific region is also anticipated to hold the largest market share in the gaming industry, with China, Japan. Oh, ooh, that was quick. Wow.
I'll send another link through after, and we'll record part 2.
Okay, cool. Yep, so with China, Japan, and South Korea showing high potential for market growth. This makes sense as the likes of Axie Infinity have been hugely popular in Southeast Asian countries like the Philippines, which is often seen as the home of P2E games. So I show that to say, does Penguin Karts have a vision and plan to become well known in the Asia Pacific region?
Well, we can start with, I'm located in Thailand. I've been here 10 years. And
oh my gosh, I'm so jealous.
So is the CEO here in town with me. And we've both personally seen people lift themselves out of poverty playing PDE games during the pandemic. And so we're right here. We're at the epicenter of who's being affected the worst by global policies. And penguins are also predominantly in third world countries. So that's why we partnered with the Global Penguin Society to help them with their outreach. Not only are they going to be teaching about penguins and the ecosystem, but they're also going to teach about play to earn now that they've learned about it. And they're going to pass that to other charities as well that are working in underdeveloped nations, because we ran the numbers on the game economy, and 30 minutes a day, 30 days of play, if you're good, you can make between $30 and $180 at, if the PGK price is 0 to 5x from listing price. And that puts it at number 105 on the list of global nations median annual income. So
wow, disruptive.
Yes. That's
wild.
So that's our plan to get into the Asian market. And then of course our main Discord manager is also fluent in Mandarin. We've got a ton of Thai people we have connections with. Vietnam right around the corner, we have a lot of connections to Vietnam. Tommy, the CEO, ran a huge center in the Philippines. He's got a ton of connections there. I mean, we definitely see Asia as a huge market potential. And over time, we will branch out our communities from English to Spanish to Asian nation, to all of them. We want everybody eventually.
I've got a side question now. So I traveled around Asia and Thailand 2 years ago in 2019. Completely changed my life. Was one of the best experiences of my life. The food, the culture, the people, I remember literally just sitting with random strangers and playing PUBG, and I was just like, oh my god, this world is just amazing. Like this is even a thing that we can just sit next to strangers on a beach and play a game, or sit next to strangers on a coach and just connect on this mobile game, and it's high quality. And then I realized that you don't have this same kind of, I don't know, like culture around gaming in Western world, in Western countries. Having now lived in it, because I'm seriously contemplating, me and my partner, seriously contemplating moving to Asia, just because the experience that we had was indescribable. What was it that, yeah, what was it that made you take that leap to move to Asia?
Okay, so I was pretty stuck in the rat race in the United States. I was getting underpaid because of my gender. I'm highly educated. I got a master's degree and still making like 65% of my male counterparts. I'm getting pissed off. And my friend calls me. He's like, "Let's go teach English in Thailand for a year." We'll get buy one, get one half off the TEFL course if we do it together, which is like a little certificate thing that you get.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, whatever. That sounds like a great idea. Let's go. And so I showed up. I bought a one-way ticket to Thailand, showed up with an 8-day-old passport, was like, let's do this thing. And within 2 months, I was like, I'm never going home. I went back and got my dog a year later, and that was 10 years ago.
That's amazing. Yeah, Asian has that effect on you.
For real.
Love that. Love that. I'll probably see you out in Asia soon.
I think so.
Actually,
I'm
want to go to the
conscious. So I'm conscious that this might cut out because it said it's going to cut out in 10 minutes a while ago. So do you
Let's
have
control it then, and that way we can cut the video.
definitely? Do you have Zoom Premium, Michael?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I end it now, we can use Michael's, and then I can share my screen through yours.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll end it now. And RiRi, I know I asked for half an hour initially, but it's okay. Thank you. Okay, so I'll
like to talk.
I'll pause it here.